Hi viewers, in this video we are going to discuss about the dynamics of disease transmission. My name is K. Priyadarshini, working as a lecturer in Madras Medical Mission College of Nursing, Chennai. First we will discuss the objectives of this video presentation. At the end of the video, the viewers are able to define what is disease transmission, describe the various chains of infection, explain the modes of transmission, discuss the prevention and control strategies. These are all the objective of this video presentation. First, we will see what is disease transmission. Disease transmission is a spread of infectious agent from a source to the susceptible host. From the source to the susceptible host. That we called as disease transmission. Then we will see what are some examples of infectious diseases. COVID-19, tuberculosis, malaria, this and all some of the example of infectious diseases. First we will see the chain of disease transmission. Totally there are 6 components are there in the chain of disease transmission. First one is infectious agent. Means that the pathogen, it might be a bacteria, virus, parasite, fungus, which causing the diseases. Okay. The second component is reservoir, the habitat where the agent lives, grows and multiplies, such as human, animal, environment, etc. Third one is portal of exit, the path by which the pathogen leaves the reservoir, including respiratory droplet, blood or feces, etc. The fourth component is mode of transmission. Mode of transmission, how the pathogen moves to a new host, which can be a direct or indirect, etc. Fifth component is portal of entry, the manner in which the pathogen enters a new host. Sixth component is susceptible host, the person at risk of infection after influenced by immunity, age or overall health status, etc. So there are 6 components in the chain of infection. First one is infectious agent, second one reservoir, third one portal of exist, fifth one mode of transmission, fourth one mode of transmission, fifth one portal of entry, sixth one susceptible host. We will see about epidemiological triad. This is very important one in the disease transmission. Triad means 3 things are there: agent, host and environment, and the how this component are interrelated. Based on that only the person is getting diseases. Okay, what is agent? Agents are microorganism causing diseases. Host, it might be human or animal susceptible to diseases. Environment, external factor that affect the disease transmission. Okay, these 3 factors are important in the person getting diseases. Modes of transmission. Totally there are 2 types of transmission: direct transmission, indirect transmission. Direct contact, droplet spreader, vertical transmission. This and all example for direct transmission. The second thing is indirect transmission: airborne infection, fomites, vector-borne, food and waterborne infection. This and all by indirect transmission. So mainly there are 2 modes of transmission: direct transmission and indirect transmission. Vector-borne transmission. What is vector-borne transmission? Some of the illness caused by parasite, virus, bacteria, it is transmitted to the human being primarily through the bite of infected arthropod vectors like mosquitoes, ticks, sandflies, etc. Those disorder comes we use it to term as vector-borne disorders. Okay, the example is malaria. In the malaria, the vector is female Anopheles mosquitoes. The parasite is Plasmodium thing. This is common in tropical region. Next, we are going to discuss about one of the important thing in disease transmission that we call used to term as pattern of disease occurrence. See, this 4 thing is important. 4 word frequently we use it to say in community health nursing. Endemic. What is endemic? Endemic means constant presence of particular disorder in the particular area. that we called as endemic, constant presence of diseases. Next, epidemic. Epidemic means sudden increase of diseases. Okay, unusual presence of diseases in particular area, that we called as epidemic. Pandemic, global spread. Example, COVID-19. Okay. Next one, outbreak. Localized increase of cases in the particular area. So the pattern, based on the pattern of disease occurrence or disease spread, we use it to term as endemic, epidemic, pandemic and outbreak. Endemic means constant present. Epidemic means sudden increase. Pandemic means global spread. Outbreak means localized increase. Measures of disease frequency. Based on this, we use it to divide two types, incidence and prevalence. Incidence means number of new cases in a given period, that we use it to called as incidence. Prevalence mean all existing cases. In this, we are including both old cases and new cases. For example, during this March month, overall affected with tuberculosis, the new identified cases, we use it to term as incidence. Prevalence means in that particular area, what are all the old cases are that, along with that, how many new cases they identified. All together, we use it to term as prevalence. Next, we will see factors influencing disease spread. Under biological, virulence, mutation rate of the pathogen. Okay. And under social factors, population density, travel, healthcare accessibility, and under environmental factors, climate, sanitation, urbanization, and so many factors are responsible for disease transmission. The important thing, prevention and control. How we are able to prevent the disease transmission and control the disease transmission. Always we use it to see in three main headings, that is primary prevention, secondary prevention and tertiary prevention. In nowadays we are giving more importance to primordial prevention also. Let's see what are all the points under primary prevention. Vaccination, health education, sanitation, so that people getting knowledge and that they able to prevent the diseases. Secondary prevention, screening, proper health screening of the individual, early diagnosis as much as possible so that we can able to prevent the complication. Isolation, after identifying the disease, immediately we should isolate the person who is suffering with the disorder so that we are able to minimize the disease spread. Tertiary prevention, proper treatment and rehabilitation schedule. This all comes under prevention and control of disease transmission. One of the important topic is emerging and re-emerging diseases. Emerging means newly identified diseases, or newly we are hearing about the specific diseases. Those diseases comes under emerging diseases. Example, COVID-19, Ebola, this and all example of emerging diseases. Re-emerging diseases previously controlled, but now it increasing, that we called as re-emerging diseases. Example, tuberculosis resurgence due to the drug resistance. To summarize, till now we have discussed about what is disease transmission, what are all the component of disease, modes of disease transmission, and methods of disease transmission, and based on the frequency how it was classified, based on the occurrence how it was classified, what are the prevention and control measures that we have seen under three headings: primary prevention, secondary prevention and tertiary prevention, and what is the difference between emerging and re-emerging diseases. I hope you able to understand what is disease transmission. Thank you viewers for your constant support.